Hello, Ricky. I am Yao. I'm an undergraduate from Penn State. Welcome to the Evolving Entrepreneur interview. Would
How you doing?
yeah. You want to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Ricardo Rosario. I'm from Kensington, North Philadelphia. I am a CEO of Luxury Lifestyle Apparel. I have about three other ventures, such as a cooking channel and and a podcast that only came out like one time, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's the podcast about?
Just growing up in the ghettos of America, how we overcame obstacles, um,
Okay,
how it affected us in the long run.
okay. There's another one.
Um, yeah, a venture. Yeah, I actually was selling food in my neighborhood recently. We're trying to start a restaurant in my city.
Okay. So basically today we will be discussing about entrepreneurial leadership, and I will ask you some questions about business and stuff like that, and some personal questions.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Where did the question? Okay. Our first question is what do you think about on the topic entrepreneurial leadership and in your opinion, what it takes to be an entrepreneur?
Um, well, the topic entrepreneur, I feel like it has a little depth to it because some people just think of entrepreneurship as just owning a business, but it has a lot to do with how you articulate yourself with wholesale companies. Like I have a apparel
Hmm.
company, so I have to articulate myself with apparel with wholesale companies, with distribution companies that will help me to sell my stuff better than I could do it on my own. Um, what it takes to be an entrepreneur, you need to have resilience. When you feel like nobody believes in your cause or believe in what you're doing, you just have
Hmm.
to settle down. Stand 10 toes and just keep working because it's going to come out. It will come out sooner than later if you just keep on working.
Okay. Do you currently just operating the business by yourself, or you have have workers and stuff like that?
I actually have a distribution company that deals with all my fulfillment stuff. I just graphic design and pick the quality of uh, of clothing I want, and I do everything by myself. I ship by myself. I do everything by myself. Market by myself at the moment. Um, yeah, it's basically just me.
Okay. You planning on like like hiring more employees or and expanding your business?
Actually, yeah, my goal, my 5 year goal, one of my goals in my 5 year plan is to open up a shop where I live, just to teach kids and have interns, just so they could learn a trait, because designing and being an entrepreneur is a trait. People think you have to go to college to be an entrepreneur. Um,
Hmm.
I'm currently in college still, but my entrepreneur skills that I learned it outside of school, just growing up. Um,
Hmm.
so I just want to teach people that, and that's the people I'm going to bring on my staff, just so they could learn from me, so they could go out and have an entrepreneur life.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you don't really need education or anything like high level education to be entrepreneur. You if you want to be something, you can just work on it and you'll be entrepreneur.
Um, Not technically, because you still have to go to school to learn economics. You still have to go to school to learn about supply and demand. But
Yep.
um, the way you talk to people, if you have a good upbringing, you will be taught to how to articulate yourself with somebody, how to get your point across. School just really gets you connections, and in this time of life, um, we really connect um through social media, through conference calls. And yeah, before, probably like 10 years ago, college was the way to make it, you know.
Yeah.
um I've been in school, I've been in college, got my associate's degree. I went for my bachelor's. I dropped out of school, and when I dropped
Mhm.
out of school, I learned more about entrepreneurship daily than I learned in school, because in school they teach you about the books, and in the real world 90% of people don't go by the book. That's what I mean when I said you don't need to go to college to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like this class I'm taking, this podcast that I'm doing for, this is the whole thing that he's doing. Like his whole purpose is to allow students to to have real experience with like business and entrepreneurial stuff, like instead of just like hands-on stuff, like it's like the real life the real world problems and stuff like that. Like let us, instead of just um do everything based on the book, like read book assignments or like, he allow us. That's why he assign us problems, like real life problems, like money making challenges, stuff like that. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I know you said that you want to have a store in the future. What is your goal, like your main goal in your business?
My main goal in my business is to leave a legacy, to be a household name. I want to. I'm getting with a few people to have custom pieces created by hand. I just want to be a brand that people can recognize, not by just the name. You see a symbol, you be like, yeah, that's luxury lifestyle. Um, and I feel like once it be a household name, I could go back into my community and bring people with me that feel like it's no way impossible in God green earth that I'm make it out of this neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole goal in life, period. Just so I could go back and reach and bring people back, and make them something, you know?
Yeah, to show possibilities in where you grow up at, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you making out with your business currently?
Um, my business at the moment is 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 a slow burn, to be honest. Um, since we've been with this company that does our fulfillment, that does my fulfillment for about, let's say, like 5 months now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just generating enough to cover my own expenses for to have my brand.
Okay.
Prior to June 26th of this month of this year, I will be 1 year I open. Like I created it 2019 June 26th. So I only been in the clothing game for a year now. And at prior states, I was just creating by hand. So now it's generated. It's a slow burn, but I
Mm-hmm.
have plans, and I'm implementing my mission. Within by the end of this year, I should be at the profit stage. I should break even and be on profit.
Okay. How about the restaurant idea? How you making out with that?
My restaurant is doing good. I get about 4,800 engagements in a week. I only started it probably like our 3 months, but I
Mm-hmm.
was cooking food when I was in college. I was selling platters,
Mm-hmm.
and when I moved out of the college area into a city because my job relocated me, I just started to sell food to my coworkers that live in the city. And my city it just became a city, so it's an up and coming city, and we try to implement the Spanish culture in it because it's all Caucasians and fast food restaurants around here and Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to implement the Spanish culture into it. And we have a big feeling that it's going to blow because it's nothing like that. It's a niche
Okay.
market.
So I know that for your clothing line, you said that, basically putting possible uh what's the word? Positivity, like so, like like showing people positivity. That's what inspired you for this to build this name, this clothing line. So what is really um inspire you to start the business? Like what, like one day, like you what make you like just to start it?
It was spring 2013. Me and my little
Mm-hmm.
brother, I had a car. We was in the mall, Franklin Mills Mall, and
Mm-hmm.
I was I had a double cup of
Mm-hmm.
juice. It was a mix, of juice and liquor, and we
Uh-huh.
walked into the mall, and I'm like, bro, people feel like a luxury lifestyle is having it all. It's really a mindset. Like, look at us now. We have white t-shirts,
Mm-hmm.
sneakers, and cargo pants, and we feel like we something.
Mm-hmm.
So once there, I'm like, bro, we should start a clothing line called Luxury Lifestyle to show
Mm-hmm.
people that it's just not the appearance that makes you luxury. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
your mindset where
Yeah.
how far can you think ahead so you can feel like you made it in life. So that's when I thought of it. And it's just like, I just put it in the back of my mind until before I graduated. And I'm like, damn, I have the money to start up a company now. I might as well do it. And all my
Mm-hmm.
friends was, believed in me, and they was like, look, if you doing it, we behind you full force. And now years later, it's 2020, and my clothing line is pretty much where I wanted it to be.
Okay, I see. um you know how, like, one thing I want to ask you about is what you just said. Remind me of this topic that I have. Like, what do you think about like high end brands, like designer stuff, like Gucci's and Louis
Yeah,
Vuitton and all that?
that's that.
What you think about that?
I I have expensive shirts. I have a $300 shirt that I never wear. Like I wore it one time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had a Kenzo shirt that I brought. It was like $250, and
Mm-hmm.
I never wore it. Um, I feel like it's just the fabric and
Mm-hmm.
how long or the promotion that people do it without those figureheads knowing. Like the rappers wear it.
Mm-hmm.
The rappers wear it. That means the drug dealers wear it. That means the
Mm-hmm.
everyday person want to wear it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I want my clothing line to be. When I said I want to be a household name like Gucci, like
Mm-hmm.
Louis Vuitton. It's all about the fabrics, and that's why I want to go overseas to touch that fabric, to see the silk, to see the cotton that they have, because the cotton over there is 100% different from the cotton here that we have in America. So that's one of my plans in my 5 year goal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I pray that I'll get to that point where people could put me up with them and say like luxury lifestyle is it's a brand that you must want, like you must need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To be exclusive,
Yeah,
right? So what other, like, the uh what kind of category, or you want it to be, like, you want it like to a luxury, like a high end type of clothes, or you or
yeah.
what?
I have um I have categories now that it's like ranks. I have luxury, like luxurious, where the fabric is top dollar. You have to
Mm-hmm.
pay a little bit more. Then I have a middle class where people with a little bit of money could buy, and I have a lower
Mm-hmm.
class that where I come from. That's where the street people wear, like streetwear,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 $15 shirts, $20 shirts. But the fabric is not premier fabric. So I have sections where all I can reach all people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
But the premiere, I don't have it out because it's such exclusive. Like people who really want it, they'll like cash at me the money, and I ship it right to them. You know, like
Okay.
you get right to it. Like I have handmade shirts and hoodies that I
Mhm.
get from my fulfillment company, and
Mhm.
I ship it right to the house.
Okay. I have one more. I'm not one more question, but like another question for you. Relating to that, do how you what do you think about like the price like of those high end clothing, like like Louis and stuff like that, like
Um,
Gucci and stuff like.
I feel like it's it's appropriate for their their comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like since I got into this clothing game, to make something doesn't cost that much, and I
Mm-hmm.
always felt like you shouldn't overcharge people. I come from, you could say nothing, and I don't want to overprice my people because
Mm-hmm.
uh, okay, like this is a silk shirt. I don't have to sell this silk shirt for $300.
Yeah.
And it only made me $50 to make the whole thing. Like I'll sell it for 120. Like I always try to undercut the people that's over me so I could gain my core customers so they can always come back to me like, oh, it's the same thing as Gucci or Louis, but it's cheaper because he cares about us. Those people they never see people that's on the ground floor buying their stuff. They just look at their money at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter and
Mm-hmm.
see how much profit they have, and then they split it up. But
But
me,
you
I want to touch the people. I want them to understand why I'm charging this price. Because when I sell my clothes, I want to give them a note of how I made this shirt. You know?
okay? Yeah, that's a good idea. Cause I was just gonna ask you, what uh you don't think that because your price is lower would lead the customer that to think that since your clothes are cheaper, which is not as exclusive, what you think about that?
Um, and that's a fear that I feel as though all entrepreneurs face because it's all about the customer. I could say
Mm-hmm.
this hoodie is the best hoodie in the world, but your opinion is like, I seen better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all about having it out there and making it tangible for the customers to understand. Oh yeah, this is the same thing, but it's cheaper because you're not trying to overcharge me for this. I don't want to make a a 300%
Mm-hmm.
profit off of somebody. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's absurd and that's not right. So
Okay.
I want to make about like 90% profit or 100% profit. Just if I sell it, if it costs me $50 to make, I'll sell it for $120. You know,
Yeah.
so I just want it like that because and all my clothes at the moment, they get a note saying thank you to my customers. I
Mm-hmm.
personally signed them and thank you. You know, because I feel like caring for the customer, it
Mm-hmm.
goes way more farther than just sending them a shirt. I
Okay.
appreciate my customers and they always come back to me.
Okay. Do you have a website like with a mission statement and all that stuff?
Yes, I have a website. It's called luxlifestyle.shop. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't updated it in probably about a month because I do more stuff now off of like exclusivity. So my friends will call me and be like, "Yo, you got anything exclusive that you haven't dropped yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I have 3 collections that's coming in the fall that my friends want now." And I just send it to them. Um,
Okay.
I just had a summer collection, but I took it off because due to the coronavirus, I can't I can't sell it in the summer because the beaches are closed.
Okay. There's one, as since you brought that up, there's one of my questions that I was gonna ask you that relating to that. Um, how did this virus pandemic affect your business in any type of way?
Yes, it affected it 100%. um, I had to retract my summer collection, which was Malibu
Mm-hmm.
Vibes.
Mm-hmm.
My shipping been delayed, it takes
Mhm.
about a month to get to somebody. And prior, it would only take about a week to get to somebody's house, no matter where they're at in the United
Mhm.
States. So people, I have complaining customers, but every entrepreneur that's in the fashion business has complaining customers, and so I really don't care about that. But I do
Mhm.
care about how long it takes to get somewhere.
Okay. Is there any like hardships or obstacles or anything that overcame?
Yes, I made my first collection ever. Like when I created when I I got into business with my fulfillment company and I created my website. I made a collection called um Pretty Woman. It had to do with Pretty Woman,
Okay.
and I didn't know you couldn't use somebody's picture to sell clothes. So I got a flag and I was gonna get sued because I used somebody's likeness to sell
Mhm.
clothes. So
Mhm.
that's the biggest hardship I had to do. They gave me a um 24
Warning.
hour time limit to take it down or I'll get sued.
Mhm.
And I lost out probably at least $500 off that because
Mhm.
I had about like 10 orders since it dropped. Like it dropped Friday afternoon around 6 p.m. and I got the the, the notice to take it down Saturday morning. So I had to refund everybody money back and I got
Mhm.
flagged. So one more flag, my whole clothing company could get shut down.
Okay. Wow. Do you have like your own model to like for the to for your clothing line?
Yeah. Um I have my friends is pretty much models. I have people that I interacted with on Instagram that I pay. I have
Mhm.
my own photographer.
Mhm.
I have my own fashion designer that helps me pick the fabrics, and I am the graphic designer.
Okay. So what are you currently like doing about this pandemic? Like what are you doing anything like to prepare for it or anything?
Yeah, I'm actually just designing and making collections for the upcoming seasons. I'm really just gearing up and for it to stop, for when it stopped,
Mhm.
because I know people go want to buy clothes. Um,
Mhm.
they're allowed out. People go always want to buy clothes, so I want to get ahead of everybody and just have clothes on hand that I could
Mhm.
just go sell.
Okay. What is one what is one of the best piece of advice you have ever gotten?
Are you allowed to curse?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Um, Somebody told me stop acting like a girl and just pull your panties up and keep it pushing.
Mhm.
Because when I first started, I just wanted to quit because nobody was helping me. I felt like I wasn't making no money, and
Mhm.
they was just like, "Yo, stop acting like a girl. Like, pull your panties up, like
Okay.
you know." And
Just
ever
never
since
give
then,
up.
I never gave up. Like, I never, like, never. Because for what? I made it this far. Why not?
Mhm.
Why quit now? You know?
Yep. You will always eventually get to it, and even if you fail, you will learn from it. That's you grow from it.
Yeah. I failed. I got kicked out of
Mhm.
school for grades. So like that's my biggest failure, you know. So I
Mhm.
if it's not that, I'm fine. You know, like I have a good job and I
Mhm.
selling clothes, designing clothes is something that I always wanted to do because clothes everybody need clothes. You know,
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
want a positive message behind it.
Mhm.
So and I just want people to catch on to it. And some people are catching on to it. It just takes time. It's a slow burn. Nobody get famous overnight, or nobody get rich overnight.
Hmm. So, what are the traits or qualities that you think makes a successful business owner?
Resilience, that's key. You have to be resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Knowing when to ask for help,
Mm-hmm.
that's a great key because you can't do everything on your own.
Yeah,
You'll
I
burn
agree.
yourself out. Um, Learn how to say no to people. People want free stuff from me all the time, man. I just say no. You'll go buy something for somebody else, but won't spend that money on me.
Right. Your stuff's exclusive too.
Yeah, you know. Um, Always look to improve yourself with any skill you have. Um,
Hmm.
I never knew how to work graphic design, like Adobe creation at all. Learned it
Hmm.
in a month. Pay my subscription. I learned everything in a month.
By
And now,
yourself?
yeah, by myself. Now I'm a graphic designer. Never went to school for it. Never thought about it. Now I am. You know,
Hmm.
just be persistent with anything you do. It's always light at the end of the tunnel. I just want all entrepreneurs to do that. Like, you will go broke sometimes. Some days
Hmm.
you will feel like you're at bottom of the earth. You're a scum of the earth.
Hmm.
But that next week it could be a big week for you.
Right. So we talk about a lot of advices and stuff like that. So what's your final advice that you have for the upcoming entrepreneurs, like young entrepreneurs?
Well, I actually have like a mentee now that he wants to start his own clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just don't think it's gonna be easy. Like, you see a lot of people, like, for affiliate, for example, they use
Mm-hmm.
characters and stuff on their shirts. If you do that in real life, like in this entrepreneur life,
Mm-hmm.
you will get locked up for that. you know,
Yeah.
Learn the rules and regulations. Like, I had to learn it the hard way. Research everything you have to do before
Right.
you start doing anything, and have the amount of funds you
Mm-hmm.
would need to start it. Because once you do, these banks, the government, they would love to invest in you. They would love to give you free money just to
Mm-hmm.
be an entrepreneur. And I think people don't understand that. So they just go pay $900 to make
Mm-hmm.
50 shirts with like Bart Simpson on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't sell that online. You spend
Yeah.
that 100 to get your LLC, get some business credit. You go get your own equipment. You make your own shirts, and you make your money back within that year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I did it the wrong way because nobody helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so now, since I know what I have to do, I tried to jumpstart the younger entrepreneurs. I
Mm-hmm.
give them the blueprint that wasn't given to me. So
Right.
that's my only advice. Says research what you have to do. Ask people. Just ask people for help. Don't try to think you know it all, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't know jack.
Right. So this the takeaway, just the takeaway of this whole interview, basically. So that's our time. We've been past our time, Ricky. So I'm gonna end it here, and it was an honor having you as my guest.
No
Thank you.
problem, man. Anytime.
Right.